Ms. Hutchinson, do you remember Mr. Giuliani meeting with Mr. Meadows on January 2nd, 2021?
I do. He met with Mr. Meadows in the evening of January 2nd, 2021. As Mr. Giuliani and I were walking to his vehicles that evening, he looked at me and said something to the effect of, "Cass, are you excited for the 6th? It's going to be a great day." I remember looking at him and saying, "Rudy, could you explain what's happening on the 6th?" He had responded something to the effect of, "We're going to the Capitol. It's going to be great. The president's going to be there. He's going to look powerful. He's going to be with the members. He's going to be with the senators. Talk to the chief about it. Talk to the chief about it. He knows about it." I remember leaning against the doorway and saying, "I just had an interesting conversation with Rudy, Mark. It sounds like we're going to go to the Capitol." He didn't look up from his phone and said something to the effect of, "There's a lot going on, Cass, but I don't know. Things might get real bad on January 6th.
Things might get real bad on January 6th. We're gonna get to Trump responding to all these new revelations, because right now, Cassidy Hutchinson also called out Rudy Giuliani. "Hey, did you hear about the 6th? Go talk to Mark Meadows. Hey, the 6th might get really bad." Hey, Cassidy, tell me more.
You described a call on January 4th that you received from National Security Advisor Robert O'Brien on the same topic, potential violence on January 6th.
I received a call from Robert O'Brien, the National Security Advisor. He had asked if he could speak with Mr. Meadows about potential words of violence that he was hearing that were potentially going to happen on the Hill on January 6th.
More. So first we got these two staffers, chief of staff and also personal attorney Rudy Giuliani talking about it. We have National Security Advisor saying, "Hey, I'm hearing some murmurs about what's going on January 6th. What's this all about?" It's starting to spread that something is planned. Yes, that's what they're pointing out here. Again, Donald Trump couldn't take much more of this. They also asked for pardons as well. One more piece here, watch.
Did Rudy Giuliani ever suggest that he was interested in receiving a presidential pardon related to January 6th?
He did.
Ms. Hutchinson, did White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows ever indicate that he was interested in receiving a presidential pardon related to January 6th?
Mr. Meadows did seek that pardon. Yes, ma'am.
Damn. That's what Donald Trump said right before he truthed this out, Farron. I hardly know who this, come on, bro. I hardly know who this person, Cassidy Hutchinson, is, other than I heard very negative things about her, a total phony and a leaker. Sounds like that's your first problem. And when she requested to go with certain others of the team to Florida after my having served a full term in office, I personally turned her request down. Pause, keep up the graphic though. I hardly know who this person, Cassidy Hutchinson, is. Jump back down to, I personally turned her request down. Do you know her or do you not know her? Continuing on, why did she want to go with us if she felt that we were so terrible? I understand that she was very upset and angry, and I didn't want her to go or be a member of the team. She is bad news. Apparently he heard that she's bad news because he doesn't really know her. She's just a coffee girl. A disgruntled staffer. Someone I don't know. It's all the same story. I can't believe he actually thinks this is gonna work, fam.
That's the problem with people like Donald Trump, of course, that have basically gotten away with everything for their entire lives, is that when you finally get to the point where you can no longer escape this, liability, when you can no longer escape all of the horrible news coming out, you panic. He's never really been in this kind of situation before. And so, he's gonna confuse himself and contradict himself like multiple times throughout this entire little truth that he sends out, because his brain doesn't know how to process these situations he's never been in. There's never been trouble that he hasn't been able to talk his way out of. And I think at this point, he is starting to come to grips, internally, certainly not vocally, but he's coming to grips with the fact that this is really bad for him. Even Marjorie Taylor Greene was tweeting out like, "Oh, Cassidy Hutchinson, whoever that is," just trying to downplay this person as a person, acting like, "Oh, nobody even knows who she is. I don't even know if she's on Twitter. So clearly she's No, it doesn't matter. it doesn't matter if you know who she is or don't know who she is. I'm sure there's lots of people around the White House Trump had no idea who they were, and they were right next to him every day.
100%.
That doesn't change any of the story or any of the facts. So he's in trouble, and I think at least to some degree inside, he's starting to figure that out.
Just beginning to. There's one more part because, as you said, he talked his way out of things. I think he bullied his way out of things. There's one more part because I want to jump down to Sarah Matthews. She's a former White House aide in the Trump administration, and she defended Hutchinson as well as Mick Mulvaney. Let's go to her tweet, which is graphic 3, you guys. She says, anyone downplaying Cassidy Hutchinson's role or her access in the West Wing either doesn't understand how the Trump White House worked or is attempting to discredit her because they're scared of how damning this testimony is. And also, she followed up by saying, for those complaining of hearsay, I imagine the January 6th committee would welcome any of those involved to deny these allegations under oath. I love she said it because Jim Jordan has been talking about the sham of a hearing. Hey, go testify. Everyone else talking about the sham of a hearing. Hey, go testify. Hey, we don't get to hear our side of the story. Hey, go testify. You've been turning those things down. You've been pleading the fifth. You've been avoiding subpoenas. It's almost like you're afraid of what's gonna happen. We gotta switch some gears really fast because yes, I'm done with January 6th for you guys. So come on, just come back around if you guys were tired of that. But we need more details of what really is happening and what the repercussions of that testimony is, because I think it was the most important so far.